I think Brokeback is Brokeback. It's abstract idea. I like the taste of that sound, Brokeback Mountain.
He's constantly inside your character's head and inside the movie, the story. It consumes him.
What Ang is doing with it is very, it seems almost quiet in a way. It's very dynamic, very dramatic.
You trust him completely, and so anything he tells you, you don't argue because you know he's right.
Back in '63.
I admire him so much for the variety of films that he does and the emotional quality of his films. I think that he's definitely the perfect director to tell this important story.
He is a fantastic director. I love his movies. He always does very different things, but they do have this wonderful emotional through line.
It needed to find that person who was going to make it into the kind of like take it to a metaphysical level rather than just play it on just this is a story about two gay cowboys. It had to be really about love, you know? And I think there's no better person to do that.
Oh, Brokeback, that is good, don't it? What are we gonna do now?
I doubt there's nothing we can do.
Ang was always the right person to write this movie. From the minute I read the screenplay, Ang was the guy.
It just happened that I was so beat up from production for the past 10, 15 years. Physically, I was kind of recovering from making all those big movies. At the end of that, I thought I would either retire or take a very long break, at least for a year. And one day I asked, what happened with Brokeback Mountain? Have you made it yet? I was glad that nobody ever made that movie, and it still was available at that time. So before I know I could physically do it, I jumped on right away.
Historically, Ang's movies have had a wide scope and a very narrow scope at the same time. You know, you've got Crouching Tiger that takes place over a vast landscape, but the stories are very intimate. The Ice Storm is the vast landscape of suburbia, and his sense of emotion, his intuitiveness about that, I think it makes him very good.
The characters of Brokeback Mountain are very similar to the characters from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. They are in an impossible place, but they have to be in that place. They have to live in that place to the fullest of their ability.
I always like making dramas, which is about conflict. You put different ingredients, which is in conflict with each other, and through which you examine humanity. To me, the dramatic core is to find that Brokeback Mountain, so to speak. It is elusive. It is romantic. It is something that it hits you that you keep wanting to go back.
He saw in it what I think you've seen in a lot of Ang's films, which are, these are characters, these are people who are absolutely extensions of where they're from and are products of their environment.
Man, that's more words than you spoke in the past 2 weeks.
Hell, that's the most I've spoken in a year.
And it's a love story. It has everything to do with the culture, with the landscape, with nature. Everything they feel is private. They have to privatize their feelings. It's precious, it's private, it's something very special that they cannot articulate. So that's something so interesting to me.
Ang is all about detail and slight difference between one color and the other. He does have a very good sense of composition and is very keen about the elements being in the specific place where it'll guide the eye of the spectator.
He's such a master with the camera that You know, the beauty of the shots is almost equally as important as the interaction between the characters.
It's been very exciting to see it come to the screen and how he's been capturing it and visually what he's brought to the piece.
If there's one thing that Aang is about, it's not about giving you a lecture, it's not about being politicized and telling you what the correct analysis of things is. The one thing he's about is emotion.
He understands the emotions so completely of the characters that he transmits it through sort of physical means. He's able to let me know exactly what it is he's looking for by using a few words and a great deal of emotion somehow. He emotes, in other words, what it is that he wants.
He really does most of his work with the casting. And it's the old saying, acting world, that casting is pretty much 90% of it. You know, once he's cast the part, then he lets the actor go and create.
I'm spurring his guts out, waving to the girls in the stands. He's kicking me to high heaven. He don't dashboard me no.
I mean, I think he really trusts the actors. I feel like he really trusts me, which really makes me feel empowered.
You know that if he says he has a shot, you know he has the shot, and it's probably going to be some of the best work you've ever done.
Aang's a very silent man. He's very selective about the information he gives you. His attention to detail is microscopic. He's someone who constantly puts you in this position of wanting to do better for him.
You come back and see us again.
So in my midlife, I did come back and try to relearn how to make movies, enjoy making them, just find my love for filmmaking, feel healthy. It's like a healing process. So I did find that love.